Hello and welcome to another Happy Pod, the only podcast in the world. I'm eating a grape. My name is Nathan, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, who's a bit of a dickhead. His name is Lawrence, but enough about that. He's going to tell us all what this silly little show is all about. Why I eat a grape.
Eat some more grapes, please. Nathan, this is a show where we get together every week to discuss something in the realm of pop culture. Could be a movie, could be a telly show, could be a video game. But the main thing is that we do so without any of the toxic discourse that is oh so prevalent these days. How's your grapes?
I don't like that. I don't like the way you phrase that.
Why? How's your grapes?
They're fine.
Oh, you think it sounds like innuendo-y? How is the grapes that you were eating?
That's better.
I think you could argue it might be worse, depending on how you take it.
Why?
Oh, don't get me down this rabbit hole.
No. Explain that.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to expand.
No, go on. What do you mean by that?
No. Nathan, everything's gone wrong. My chair arm just broke.
Your chair arm just fucking broke. It was literally right about to record, and then there was just a loud crash, and bro almost fell over.
It locks me in. You know what armchairs are like? They lock you in, and I felt my support was gone.
Yeah.
So.
Now you're currently supportless mid-recording.
Yeah, I'm standing like kind
You're
of
not standing. First of all.
All right, no, but I'm leaning. I'm proportioning my weight with like my arm now, just kind of like on my side.
All right, but like first of all, chairs without armrest exist. All right,
yeah, but I don't like them.
It's not like some strange phenomenon where you're left up high and you're like suddenly like up fucking the Eiffel Tower without a rope or some shit. You know, like you're fine. You'll be fine.
I know
right?
I'll be okay, but it throws the vibe off, doesn't it? Because you get used to sitting a certain way.
Just lean forward, lean on your desk a little bit. I got my elbows on my desk right now. I feel secure.
See, this is what I do when I'm working, I guess. So yeah. All right. Well, now, everyone, I'm sat comfortably.
Right. Lawrence is safe, everyone. He's not going to suddenly fall over.
I am not. Nathan, we're back. We're doing the prequels, the Star Wars annuary, did we call it?
Yeah, I don't like it, though.
No, it's so bad.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Star Wars-uary, I think, is better.
Well, no, because that's February, isn't it?
Oh, it's true, yeah.
And it's not February, it's January.
Star Wars annuary. Yeah. There's nothing we can do there. There's no wiggle room whatsoever there.
It probably is. You're just not good enough to think about it.
The Battle of Januaryosis.
No.
It's not better. It's just something else.
It's worse, I would say. It's convoluted and worse, all right?
You might be right. You might be good.
And Januaryosis sounds nothing like Geonosis.
It's all right. It sounds more like it than just saying Star Wars annuary, though. That's just two stupid words.
And the battle of the battle of Januaryosis is sounds straightforward and clear for everyone to understand, does it?
I think it's the same problem.
I think you should kill yourself.
Don't. They'll come for you again.
I know they will, but I don't care this time, all right?
This time it's valid.
This time it's legitimate, all right?
All right, Attack of the Clones. We're here. We're talking about it. The second entry into the prequels. Do we do the question first or general thoughts first? All right, well, in that case. Another happy question.
Oh, what is this?
Well, it's a new segment that you brought back. It was long dead. We did used to do this, and then I got bored of doing it. But now we alternate, so that's the twist. So what we do is we alternate asking each other a question. It's related to the episode topic. We do the episode, and then we give the answers at the end. Well, Nathan will give his answers at the end, and if he's courteous, he might ask me what I would have chosen if it were my time to answer the question.
I won't.
Fair enough. All right, question is, there's a lot of political figures in this particular Star Wars installment. The obvious ones, there's Palpatine, there's Senator Padme Amidala, there's Jar Jar Binks even, who has taken a role in government, if you can believe it.
Wait, what was the question?
Well, right. Answer me this. Were you on your phone?
Yeah, but I was getting something for the podcast though, so it's allowed.
All right, fine. It's admin. That's okay then.
Yes.
All right. There's a lot of political figures in this particular Star Wars installment. The obvious ones being Palpatine, Senator Padme Amidala, and Jar Jar Binks. There's plenty more dudes in the background. I'm sure you know the names of. Probably
Jimmy
like
Smits.
Jimmy. Oh, yeah. Nah, Bail Organa. People know Bail Organa. That's not someone that only you would know the name of.
Okay. What do you mean then?
Well, I'm saying you've got a wider net because you know the background guys. You're probably like, that's Senator Fucknose or whatever.
Yeah, that's Senator Who's It Was It.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So suddenly they're all in competition to become our prime minister.
Oh, you mean, okay. I thought I missed that plot point of the movie.
No, so they're all going to become, they're all in contention to become our next prime minister. Who has got your vote and why?
Oh, that's easy. All right,
interesting. I feel like there is an easy answer, but I've got something to rebuttal it.
You sexist. All right.
All right, so yeah, we'll answer that at the end of the episode. Nathan, it's Attack of the Clones.
It is indeed, Lawrence. There is unrest in the Galactic Senate. Several thousand solar systems have declared their intentions to leave the Republic. The separatist movement under the leadership of the mysterious Count Dooku has made it difficult for the limited number of Jedi Knights to maintain peace and order in the galaxy.
Oh, no.
Senator Amidala, the former Queen of Naboo, is returning to the Galactic Senate to vote on the critical issue of creating an army of the Republic to assist the overwhelmed Jedi. ...
Was there 4 dots?
There's always 4 dots in a Star Wars opening crawl. No one knows why, but there just is.
I've never noticed that. Is that a thing?
That's the thing, all right? There's always 4 dots in an opening crawl.
I feel like if you ask George Lucas why he did that, there's going to be like 5 pages of lore he could give us. But
probably just a typo and it just stuck for fucking 40 years.
And he went, it was actually always the thing. I meant it from the get-go. I like that. You didn't do that last week, though. Is this a new idea?
Yeah. I did have the idea to do it last week, but I forgot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to redo it at the end and I'll just lob it on? I'll change the feed.
You can't. It's already out.
No, you can change the feed, though, and it will still keep the view count.
But we don't get any more views. That's fine, all right. I think we're done for that one, isn't it?
Oh, no, we'll lose all 2. All right, general thoughts on Attack of the Clones, if you would.
Go on, then.
Oh, I hate it when one time I just want to know yours first.
As if you don't know my thoughts on this movie.
It's true. Yeah, look, it's my least favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, of all of them?
Of the Skywalker saga, yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, no, I like Solo and Rogue One better than this, yeah.
What about the Clone Wars?
I haven't seen the animated Clone Wars movie.
Have you not?
No, I don't think so. If I did, I saw it when I was like a kid, so I don't recall it at all.
Did you do it for Caravan?
No, that was before my time, I think.
I don't think it was.
If it wasn't, I didn't do it. I'd never seen that movie.
Oh. All right.
Unless I was just like, hey, I made a quick edit. Ben, fix this, please. You watched it. I didn't.
Wow, what a prick. I'm 100%... Didn't he do it on Clone Wars Corner?
No.
I am 100% sure you have seen Clone Wars movie and we've talked about it.
I can promise you this.
Unless you lied to me for Clone Wars Corner, okay? In which case, that opens up a whole new box of fucking worms, all right? Because I am 100%... I'm going to go back and listen, because I'm fucking almost certain that you said you had.
I don't recall it. If I did watch it, again, like I said, it was when I was a kid. I have not seen that movie in the last 5 years. There's no chance.
Well, you told me you had.
I don't know. You're recalling this and now you're claiming it as a fact. I don't remember saying that or watching it.
I remember you saying it because you did Clone Wars Corner.
Yeah, but I did Clone Wars Corner. They were the episodes. I was watching through the episodes. I never sat down and watched this.
There was the movie though.
I definitely didn't start with that.
They go to save Jabba the Hutt's son.
Yeah, no, nothing. I've got no recollection of that whatsoever. Is this like a mind-blowing thing for you that I haven't seen this?
Yeah, it is, because I thought you had.
And
also, why haven't you watched it?
I don't know, because I haven't watched the rest of the Clone Wars. That's not like mind-blowing to you.
But it's not like the rest of the Clone Wars, because this came first.
But I don't know, I just never watched it. I don't know what to tell you. I wasn't that big into Star Wars as you were.
All right.
But no, right. Attack of the Clones, yeah, it's my least favorite. And that's fine, because it's not to say there's not good ideas. I think part of this movie's issue for me is that I really want it to be better, because the ideas on show are infinitely more interesting than what they did with them in this movie. So, like, I don't know. We'll elaborate on that as I go on. But I like it. It's fine. It's not something I don't throw this on like I'd throw on maybe The Phantom Menace or Revenge of the Sith. Like, it's definitely my least favorite. What about you?
I think it fucking slaps.
Fuck it. What else was gonna say? What else were you gonna say?
No, I don't. I like it. I like bits of it, but it is my least favorite. It is
Okay.
the most. I think it is the weakest of the prequel trilogy, and I think it's the one that suffers the most from George.
I 100% agree because it's also it's George's blessing that's also his curse, right? Because he's got too many good fucking ideas, and they're in here, but you get them. And one of the most egregious things of this, which we'll get to, like it's such an interesting idea that should be explored deeply, and then it's kind of like tossed aside very quickly, and then it'll get brought up again in the next movie. But like, I just feel like there's too much plot that he needs to do, and there's too much lore, and there's too many plot lines going on that you can never slow down enough to focus on, like, hey, I think Anakin is a really fucking interesting character. I'd love to sit with him for more than 5 seconds of a scene. Like, and I'd like it if, like, certain scenes held enough weight so that when we next see him again, he's still suffering. Like, dude flat out commits a fucking, like, pretty much a little genocide on a village and deals with his mother's death in the same day. And then in the next like couple of scenes that he's in, he's like, I'm just busy, I got stuff to do. And I kind of wish that we could sit a little while longer. I know it pains you to speak negatively of Star Wars, but
like, what more is there? Because all right, let's just get into that. All right,
yeah, sure.
So Anakin kills a whole bunch of Tuskens. Okay, all right. But what more is there to explore that isn't explored between him in the scene with Padme, where he's talking about how he killed them?
I think maybe not necessarily always coming from Anakin. I would like to see Padme have more of a reaction to that.
Nothing to do with her, though, really. And I think she does have a reaction to it.
I think, yeah, she has a reaction to it, but it's more of a they're there kind of situation. And then in like one of the very next scenes, she's like, we're going to go do this. And then the next time they get a chance to really talk, she's like, I love you big time and I'm sick of pretending I don't. And I'm like, you haven't even budged on that placement, considering you just heard him admit to murdering women and children. Like,
look, bad thing happened to the guy, you know?
Yeah, I get it, but she's the person of law and order. She's last week going on about like, if my people are going down, I'm going down with them. She's for the little people. And then Anakin murders them, and she's like, I fucking love you.
But in her mind, Tusken Raiders aren't little people. Keep in mind, what she knows about the Tusken Raiders is next to nothing, okay? What she knows about these people is that they came in the middle of the night, took Shmi Skywalker, tortured her for a month, and then killed her.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not some downtrodden, hurt upon race that she's actively fighting for their rights in the Senate, or anything like that. She doesn't know what the fuck's going on. She doesn't know what the fuck is going on at Tatooine for the most part. For the most part, it's largely kept away from the Republic and just controlled by the Hutts. All right, they're like, we don't really want anything to do with that. Right?
I totally get that, and that this whole thing could be solved with just removing that he killed children. Like, because the children didn't kidnap the girl, his mum, did they? Like,
no, but to me that's more interesting though. I think to remove that would be removing an essential part of the movie because it's problematic. Yeah, it's supposed to be problematic. All right, fucking hell.
I don't care about that. I love it when Anakin's out slaughtering kids. Right, that's his MO. He loves doing that, and we'll talk about it next week. But I wish that Padme doesn't feel as well realized as I think she could do in a lot of these sequences. Like,
I think she's conflicted because I think she can recognize and understand that this is not necessarily a great thing that's happened.
Yeah.
But also I think she needs to take into consideration what has happened to Anakin. Okay. And also, dude has been living with a Jedi for 10 years, all right? They're not the best at fucking expressing and handling their emotions, are they? Okay?
Yeah, let's talk about the Jedi and Anakin, right? Because that's...
Well, we're done with that.
No, say your piece.
No, I'm pretty much done, really. But I was saying, like, I don't know what more there is to explore beyond what there is in the movie. I think to say I'd like to see more from Padme. Just feels kind of irrelevant from me because to me it's nothing to do with Padme. You know, it's Anakin's pain.
Yeah, but then they get married at the end of the movie. Like they should share that to a degree. I feel like it's not like, I mean,
maybe I'm coming at this because I'm not fucking married, but like it's not her mum, is it? You know?
No, but like I don't know. Maybe I don't think necessarily. I think most people would agree in the sense that like if I came home to my wife, right?
All right, but picture this: she's not your wife.
All right, but she certainly wouldn't be if I admitted to this.
All right, but you came home to a woman who is a politician who you're protecting.
Yeah, but they both know what the score is. They both know what's going on.
Right, yeah, fair. But,
like they know there's feelings there.
There's a romance blossoming. Okay?
Yes,
but she's also not your wife.
No, and I think if Padme had been more fleshed out and not. There's an element of this, and we'll talk about the romance stuff in a minute or whatever, but like...
By the way, I'm not arguing that Padme isn't not fleshed out, because I agree.
Yeah,
I think she could do with being more fleshed out. I just think that in this particular scene, it's not necessarily her business.
I don't see a world where Padme wouldn't react to this way worse. Like, she's a moral person with integrity that we've seen be pretty consistently for... the people. And I understand what you're saying about the Tuskens, like she doesn't know to the extent of like how civilized are they. I know the Tusken Raiders have like that, you know, the Sand People, they have that reputation of being like subhuman in like across various things or whatever. But like at the same time, just the phrase "I killed them" and not just the men but the women and the children, like, and the women and the children also, like that's red flags to anyone. And I feel like while Padme doesn't have to like fully accept it to still go on with it, I would have just loved to see her explore that way more. Like, this is a protector and this is a Jedi, and this is like the last time she saw him, he was a little boy. And now he's like, I'm murdering kids. And she's like, I guess you're still fine to be my protector. I guess you're like mentally sound. Like, there's just not enough of that because I feel like the movie and George Lucas obviously just needs them married to have kids in the next movie. Because obviously, and you know, that might be lessening it a little bit, but like, that is the end goal, and that is where he needs them. So Padme can't get too bogged down in this, which I feel like is not really true to the character that he set up.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, fucking, like,
Sorry,
I see what you're saying, but also I do disagree. Like, because I think she does react, but I think she's willing to set that aside. Okay, and again, like there's no part of me which can see Padme like being like, well, fuck you, actually. I'm throwing all this away and championing and spending the rest of my life dedicating to champion for the rights of fucking Tusken Raiders. Okay?
All right, but I'm not asking for that either. I'm just asking for a real human being to go, that's actually really fucked up, and to maybe tell anyone about it.
I don't know, because to me, that just seems like, yeah, I get it, all right, but like to me, that just seems like just ignoring all like human emotion and elements in a person, expecting them to always be the paramount of good and nothing else. Do you know what I mean?
I do see where you're coming from. I just think it doesn't have to be one extreme or the other. Like, she should have grappled with this more. The man murdered children, and she barely reacts to it.
Get over it, man.
No, but you know I'm right. You know what I'm saying.
I know. I see your point you're making, but I think she does. Like, we don't have a whole scene of her breaking down and crying over it, but I mean, she does react. She's clearly not comfortable in that scene. She's clearly like, oh, this isn't okay.
Yeah, right? but then my issue is that then we go from her being, I'm not all right with that, to I love you big time, let's get married. Which, like, yes, I know there is a battle and they're busy and stuff, right? And she's probably got other things on her mind, but to them,
I think it's just something she's willing to set aside and forgive in the big picture of stuff. Like, not great, but also I can understand what happened. It was a lapse in judgment from him. Not great, but also he does all this other good shit as well. Let's move on.
All right, and let's us move on.
Okay.
Let's speak about Anakin and the Jedi. Well, firstly, Hayden Christensen's here because he wasn't Anakin last week. That was Jake Lloyd.
He wasn't. Yeah, he's been recast.
He has, which makes sense, I guess.
Well, it has been 10 years.
Yeah. What do you think of Hayden? I mean, I know what you think of Hayden Christensen, but in this movie, where are you at with him?
Look, he's a young boy. All right. He's a young lad. He's fine. He does a good enough job. He does what he needs to do.
I think he's unfairly lambasted. Like, I think, because there are some, look, I'm not going to shy away from it. There is some awkward line deliveries from everyone here, by the way. Like,
There's some awkward line deliveries from Ewan McGregor. Okay.
Yeah, and it's Ewan McGregor.
Some very awkward line deliveries from Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah, there were parts where I was watching it, I was thinking, like, this is Sam Jackson. What's going on here?
Yeah.
But I think there's blame to go around. I think obviously that comes from the heavy green and blue screen sets. Like, it's difficult. This way of shooting something, I'd imagine, is very challenging for an actor, especially one as kind of green to the work as Hayden Christensen was as well.
There is a scene just before Obi-Wan and Anakin are about to go into the nightclub on Coruscant, where he's like, "This weapon is your life, remember?" And he's like, "Yes, Master. I'm sorry, Master. I know, Master. I try, Master." You know, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you like look closely, you can clearly see in Ewan McGregor's eyes just green screen, just reflected in his eye.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Look, it's not perfect, is it? I'll touch on that in just a second, right? But the Hayden Christensen, I do think he gets unfairly lambasted, right? It's
Hey Google, define lambasted.
Is Google doing it? Or?
No, that was a joke.
Okay, I didn't know if we were waiting.
I don't have a Hey Google thing.
It's it means like people just fucking dogpile on and be like, this guy sucks, this guy's shit, like kind of mob mentality against someone.
All right.
But yeah, he cops a lot of flack, kind of unfairly, because people are like, oh, his line reads are awkward, and I'm like, yeah, he's a fucking awkward dude. Like, he's been raised by monks that keep telling him, hey, you are really powerful. Don't try and use that power though. And hey, you've got some good judgment. You should trust in the Force some more. And then when he tries to do anything by himself, they go, well, not now. Don't do that now. Listen to what we're saying to do. Like, there is no part of this bloke that was raised normally. And I think that Hayden Christensen does a very, very good job of showing that in his performance. He is an awkward guy playing what would be a kind of socially inept, awkward guy. Like, I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I think so too. He does a good enough job at that. But like the awkwardness, I think that's more just a director issue than anyone else.
Okay.
Really. Yeah.
But I think, like, there's moments, like, maybe I'm in the minority, but I think that they're animals and I slaughtered them like animals. Like, that's some good acting, I think, no?
I think it's very good, yeah. I think it's a really good scene.
Yeah, so it shows he's obviously very, very capable, but I do think there's blame to go around. There's people that jump on him for not really understanding the character and wanting Anakin to be someone else. And then there's also the people that don't take into account, like, this is a very, very tough gig for an actor to be good in. Case in point, like you just said, Samuel L. Jackson.
Not me. I didn't nailed it.
You would have nailed it straight out of the gate, to be fair. I think it's also interesting that there's this element of Jake Lloyd playing Anakin as a character was very welcoming and very much like, hey guys, I love the Jedi. Look at your laser swords. You're all cool. And like walking people around his little home, showing them his trinkets and stuff.
His little Maz Kanata doll.
Yes. I've seen this, yeah. But then, like, well, obviously in the transition to Hayden Christensen, Anakin's way more dour and kind of subdued and miserable. Like, he feels like a dog that's been beaten into submission for a large portion of this.
Yeah, there's clearly a difference. I wouldn't say a dog that's been beaten into submission at all. I would say quite the opposite of that. I'd say like a barely trained dog, just like ready to like lash out at any moment. You know?
I guess I mean in the moments where he like stands in a scene, kind of like Ewan McGregor's doing his Obi-Wan all around, and he's just like, Anakin, shut up and stay there a second. And Anakin starts talking, and he's like, Anakin, shut the fuck up a minute. And he's like,
yeah, but then they'll have a big argument and make everyone in the room uncomfortable.
Yeah, they do. Anakin's primary role in this movie is making other people in rooms uncomfortable.
It's true, yeah.
But yeah,
I do think he was very unfairly blasted by Padme at one point, though, where they're on Naboo, and he's like, what is your opinion on this, Master Jedi? And then Padme just, like, interjects, like, oh, he's not a Jedi, he's just a little bitch, actually.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, did you just give him some respect? He's actually a fucking idiot.
He's a silly little bitch Padawan, actually. All right, so spit on him before you talk to him, actually.
Don't address this fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think there's a few moments where Padme's words cut quite deep on him. The infamous "Don't look at me like that. Why not? It makes me uncomfortable." And then the awkward "Sorry, my lady." Like,
Well, very strange.
oh
Very
no.
strange choice. Yeah.
But again, I think that's how, as an actor, like, where do you go with that? That's George Lucas's dialogue, and he doesn't want you to change it. So, like, I guess you've just got to sell it. Like, it's bad dialogue. You can't say that well in a scene and make it sound okay.
I don't think that's a dialogue issue. I think that's more a direction issue. Like, I'm sorry, my lady. There's no reason that necessarily has to be creepy. It's more the
true.
creepy look and smile that he has on his face afterwards. Like, do you want to do another take of that? You don't want to give him some direction and try it another way?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because it's ingrained in my mind in that way. But you're right. I guess he could have just gone, "Oh, sorry, my lady,"
Yeah.
and just like not being a weirdo about it. I guess. We've been speaking about like kind of all the different kind of issues with this and like the direction and like how that comes into play and how it's hard for an actor to do this kind of job because of the green and blue screen stuff. Where are you at with like the look of the movie overall?
I'll be honest. I largely don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's first of all, the movie's 23, 22 years old at this point.
Yeah.
It looks how it looks, all right? I sure, there's movies that look better. Sure, there's movies that look worse. So, on the grand scheme of things that I care about in this movie, I cannot stress how far down that is, all right?
Yeah.
Would it have looked better if it was mostly on practical sets? Yeah, probably. Yeah, it would. There is practical sets in this movie. When they go to fucking Naboo, which is just space Italy, it looks great, all right? It looks great. They're on Tatooine. It looks great, all right? But then the rest, it's all just green screens and blue screens and vast fucking corridors in the Jedi Temple, which go on for fucking years.
Yeah.
And like, it doesn't look great, but I'll be honest, just don't give a shit, man.
Yeah,
you just can't get me to care enough about it. Really.
I don't know whether it's maybe the nostalgia, but I also don't care about it. Like, this is just how I remember these prequels looking. And I think I think it's more jarring because Phantom Menace there was a large portion of that movie that was on Tatooine, which is obviously just fucking Tuscany.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a place.
It's not Tuscany.
Is it not Tuscany?
No, Tuscany looks very... If you think Tuscany looks like Tatooine, you might want to fucking look... I don't know.
I'm
but
sure
you might
they
want to
shot some of Tatooine in the Tuscan desert. I'm sure.
Tuscan Desert?
Yeah. Where did they film Tatooine then?
Tunisia.
I was thinking of Tunisia. Yeah. As soon as you said that, I went, that's right.
Tuscany is like a very beautiful, like, green place with, like, mountains and hills and like, grass and all this kind of shit.
Where did I get Tuscany from?
Tuscany looks probably Tuscan Raiders.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed to say you're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but like, with the Phantom Menace, like, those... A large portion of that movie does take place in practical fucking deserts, right? So, like, it's not too... You can forgive a lot of the wonky CGI and the kind of weird, kind of big office voids that they're walking around in and stuff, because it's largely kind of infrequent. With this, it's not infrequent at all. It's a pretty massive fucking part of the movie. But I'm also in the same camp. Like, I don't care. I think this wasn't the first movie shot on digital, but it was the first massive one to do so. And this is what George Lucas does, right? I think it's actually kind of brave that someone has to go first with this kind of shit. Like, someone has to go first so that everyone can go, "Oh, that's what we don't do," and we'll do, and then everyone will do it differently. But they can only have done that because someone else was brave enough to make the mistake first.
Yeah, I've said this before on this podcast, but the only way like technology grows is by actually using it, by actually adapting it and stuff. Like, you have to use these techniques and you have to push them so that they can get better. And like, that does mean that things are going to be a little bit shit for a while, but it just has to be that way, you know? Like, fucking talking about like fucking de-aging technology and stuff. When that first started, it looked fucking horrible. And now as things have gone on, it's gotten a lot better over the years and stuff. Any technology, like, it needs time to be developed and work on and to evolve and stuff. And I think to just say like, "Oh, well, just don't do it," I feel like that's just well, then just things are stagnant and dead. Then,
Yeah,
aren't they?
nothing
Like,
ever grows.
Just
Like-
no innovation whatsoever. Just complete that. No, let's just do things how we've always done them and
Yeah.
never push the envelope and try anything new. Well, that's just sounds boring to me. That just sounds like a dead industry, frankly. All right.
Look, everyone, we've made the same movie 100 fucking times. It comes out every year. Do you love it?
Yeah, great. Well done.
That's the complaint. I always see that, especially associated with Star Wars. Anytime Star Wars does a scene where a character is de-aged, someone on YouTube 3 days later will upload, I fixed Disney's awful de-aging. And I'm like, yeah, because you did it on top of Disney's work, which was 95% done. Like,
Yeah.
you can only have done that because they did it all first.
Yeah, that's true.
And then there's always fucking comments from idiots like, oh, you did this in like 3 days and it probably took them 2 years. And it's like, you're all fucking stupid. Oh, it frustrates me.
Yeah, but also, like, that would have been 3 days non-stop for that guy as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's silly. But yeah, no, I don't care about that stuff. I also think, you know, look, I'm not going to lie. There's shots of this that are quite ugly. There's also shots that aren't and look very nice.
I think there's some, like, really good and really interesting shots, particularly the Battle of Geonosis. There's some, like, fucking incredible, like, and, like, pure all-digital shots as well.
Yeah.
Like, some really, really interesting shots. Like, there's that one of, like, the clones and they're like, shooting in the fucking... on the desert, and like the sand is all blowing everywhere and it's all quite smoky and misty, and there's like the lights of the blaster bolts just like illuminating them, like the blue and the red shining through, and it looks great. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, that's what I think this movie gets a lot of slack for, like, oh, it's too vibrant and it's too ugly and it's too saturated and it looks weird. I'm like, but it's, you know, it's space. It's space planets. Like, I like it when they look like they pop on the screen. It doesn't always land, but like, you want like blaster bolts to look fucking red and painful, and like and you need them to cut into the screen like that. And I think this is an achievement, man. Like, whether it looks fantastic or not, right? Every single 100% digital shot in this movie is fucking insane for the time. Like, it's wild they were able to pull this kind of shit off whilst using cameras that had never been used on a film of this scale before and were invented like 5 years prior. Like, it's fucking insane, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just think with this movie, there's loads of other stuff to moan about. Like, how it looks, I think, is one of the most technically innovative movies ever made, really. So, like, I'm not gonna fucking just start going ham on it for like having a couple of ugly shots in it. It's really not a big deal.
I think the opening in particular is like really good. I think really striking. Like, just seeing that really big. Well, we saw it in the last movie as well, but the Naboo Royal Yacht, the Naboo Royal Cruiser coming through, and like Coruscant being like really cloudy and stuff, and seeing the ship just emerge through the clouds on Coruscant between the buildings and stuff. It's quite striking. It's quite beautiful, and something I really enjoy, and like, it's not something you often think about, but on the approach to the planet, just seeing the ship just like turn around as it were, as they come into land, because it's coming in like from a different angle, sort of thing. Just interesting dumb shit, really.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I just think, yeah, it cops flack, man. There's stuff to point at in this movie and go, that's not the greatest, but like, so many people would scoff at this and then go and watch a movie that wouldn't be possible if this movie didn't exist.
Yeah.
So, I mean, someone else would have done it, but like, someone had to do it. And I think that's admirable and cool, actually.
George took the bullet, you know?
Yeah, he did.
George wanted to push this stuff, and look, he did. And I think a lot of the conversations, like, I don't think his stuff has changed, really, because we're still having these conversations fucking 20 years later. It's like with, like, you know, the volume and stuff like that. People are like, oh, just get rid of the volume. I'm like, no, just use it right. Just do stuff that use it in the right circumstances. Use it to your advantage, you know? And yeah, there are things that are going to be shit, but work on it, you know? Don't just scrap it entirely, because it can be useful. Like, just work on it and get better at it, and then, you know, keep developing.
Yeah, it's the artist, not the tools. Like, it's the age-old thing, right? A paintbrush in my hand is infinitely fucking shitter than a paintbrush in fucking Picasso's hand. Like,
Or mine.
or Nathan's famous painter, Nathan Bauer.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to say, I think an aspect of this movie that I like, and maybe isn't necessarily fully explored here, it probably leans into a bit of Revenge of the Sith as well. In fact, it definitely does. But Anakin was definitely pushed to extremism by the Jedi, and I love that concept in this movie of how like they suppress him. And I think we get this. I'll speak about the Padme like, hey, I'll be a dictator, and Padme's like, no, I don't know about that. That scene is very interesting, and I'll talk about that in a sec. But
I would like to talk about that scene in a sec as well.
Oh
actually.
yeah. Oh no.
So I'm gonna. Yes, I would actually. But continue.
Wait, are you going to defend that scene?
Maybe.
Mate, I'm with you. Let's
okay.
go. This is what I'm saying. The ideas are rich and interesting in this. But Anakin, if you look at where he's come from, right, he has a natural draw to dictatorship as an idea because of his life experiences, right? Like, and I guess we'll talk about this in a sec as well. But like his freedom, he was a slave child, and his freedom was won over. Not run over. That's a very different outcome for poor Anakin. But his freedom was won over by an institution that freed him, went, well done, Anakin, and then immediately fucking suppressed him in another institution. And he went, oh, okay, and gave him more rules. So, like, he never really had his freedom. And I think that the explanation of how politics should work to Padme laughs it off because she's never had the same hardships that he's had. But, like, he thinks to himself, all right, look, all my life I've had people in charge of me, and I think I'm better than all those people because the Jedi have pumped me with fucking ego and hubris. So, like, if anyone's going to be in charge, why shouldn't it be me? Because I'm better than these guys. These guys suck. Like, I think that element, it's the childlike naivety from Anakin because the Jedi never taught him how the world works, and it's interesting.
I was watching it last night, and I was watching this scene because it's a big meme now and everything.
Yeah, you can see the screenshots, can't you?
You can see the screenshots. Yeah, it's a big meme, and everyone likes to make fun of it, and I get it. But then I was watching it last night, and I was like, he's 20 years old.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, he is a dumb kid, all right? And I think back to how I was at 20 years old. Let me tell you, I was nowhere near as fucking politically switched on as I am now. All right?
Yeah.
I think to expect your level of political knowledge onto a dumb 20-year-old kid who, let's face it, has a lot of other issues going on.
Yes.
Right? Like, I don't know if that's the best outcome. Like, just because this is what he's saying things should be, maybe let's not all take that as gospel. Let's not all take that as whatever. I just think he's a bit of an idiot. All right.
Yeah.
And he is.
I think so too. But I can also see like the lapse in logic and how his upbringing has conditioned him to think that like if a guy's going to be in charge of everything, like has been his entire life, Obi-Wan's his master, Qui-Gon freed him and was going to be his master until he died. Like his mum died essentially, not a slave, but like to him, she was never freed of people owning her. And like he was a slave. Like his entire upbringing has taught him like you get a master until you die, essentially. And he's been raised to think like, well, I've been told I'm powerful. I'm probably the most powerful out of all these guys. So what they keep telling me, what Qui-Gon told me all those years ago, if anyone's going to be in charge, I think I'm an okay bloke. I'll be in charge.
Is he saying he should be in charge though?
Well, I think he catches him because I think there is that interesting moment where he says like someone should make them or something. And Padme goes like, someone or you? And he's like, someone or whatever. I read that very much as more of a case of he's envisioning himself there, but doesn't want to be too full on.
I don't know.
No, you don't think so? Or?
No, I don't really see it that way.
Fair enough. But I think you're bang on the money. Like he's a fucking dumb idiot kid who's like who's purposely been held back from understanding how the real world works because the Jedi themselves are fucking morons and clueless and ignorant. So it does make sense. I think the fact that people just claim it as like George Lucas making a painfully obvious comparison of like dictatorship is bad and this guy will be a dictator one day. Like it's not as dumb as that. Like it makes sense for Anakin to think that way.
Hey, maybe there should be a dictator. Anyway, now I got to go ride this CGI cow.
I like this, right? Like this is. Do you want to talk about the romance stuff?
I would love nothing more than to talk about the romance. Yeah, I'll admit, it is a lovely song.
I found it for like, because I threw in some clips in last week's episode of the music for examples when we were talking about them and stuff. And I was listening to it and I was like, oh, that is lovely. Yeah. And I'm listening to the podcast where I'm saying like, I don't know if it's as good as this. And I'm in real time going, oh, Lawrence, you're wrong. You sound like a buffoon.
You are a buffoon.
I think the romance stuff is actually interesting to a degree. I think the classic love story imagery is there. They're frolicking in fields. They have a beautiful Italian wedding. Like, it looks picture perfect, a lot of this romance stuff.
Don't have an Italian wedding until the end of the movie.
Well, no, but like in terms of like the love story imagery, it all looks nice and aesthetically pleasing. It's just that, I don't know, has George Lucas ever had a conversation with a partner? Like, I don't think he understands how people talk.
Well, he's married. Right?
I know. He's been married twice.
Well, there you go. 2 more wives than you.
No, one more wife than me.
Right, sorry, 1 more wife than you.
2 more wives than you, actually.
All right. Bloody hell. Am I here catching strays?
But I think that there's like, I don't know, look, maybe George has got some secret riz we don't know about, but he's not winning over people with these lines, is he?
She's in awe of my tism. Look, I just, look, yeah, the romance is, I think it struggles from a dialogue point of view.
Yes.
Okay, as a lot of this movie does, because, and some of it I think can seem a little rushed because like they just get to Naboo, all right, and then like they have that one scene in the fucking with the Queen in the royal chamber in the throne room or whatever. And then Padme's like, he's a bitch, don't talk to him, he's a fucking little bitch, all right? And then suddenly they're in fucking space Italy or whatever. They get off that little canoe, that little space canoe, which is hilarious. That's that little space gondola. Sorry. It's just like, it's like literally the most earth setting imaginable. Like this is fucking, it's literally a fucking place you can go. But they went, how can we make this Star Wars? I'll just make a weird little space boat. You know, it's like a boat, but it kind of looks like a spaceship or whatever. You know, that'll be fine.
They should have done it on a pedalo or something instead.
There's like ancient rocks from like the fucking 10th century. They're crumbling with all this history. I'm like, I'll just put a little space boat there next to it. Anyway, they get off the space boat, and then like they're suddenly like, oh, I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. It gets everywhere. They're like here, where everything's smooth, and then just weirdly touches the skin on her back and everything. And then they just kiss. I'm like, well, this seems a little quick, doesn't it? This all seems like, well, what was the build up to this? You know, like it does seem a little Russian in that sort of sense, but whatever.
Yeah, look, it is one
It's
of them
also a
things.
fantasy as well.
Yes, it is. It is, and I think there is an element of this is George Lucas being practical, right? This is George Lucas being like, they got to kiss. They got to kiss because they have kids in the next one. And
They don't have to kiss because they have kids. All right,
you can have kids and not kiss.
you can have kids and not
Case in
kiss,
point, Smithy and Nessa.
but they kiss because they want to kiss. Lawrence.
No,
right?
I know, but it's one of them things where, like you say, there's no real build up. You kind of go, oh, all right. I guess you both have had some conversations we weren't privy to.
But then she pulled it away. It was like, oh no, that was a mistake.
Yeah,
These lips are not for you,
everyone,
little boy.
little
All right?
boy.
These lips are not for you. Now stay away. All right. Anyway, let's enjoy this dinner of a single pair. All right.
I'm wearing my full dominatrix.
I'm wearing my full BDSM dommy mommy dress. Okay. And why don't you cut up my single pair dinner for me? All right.
I watched out for that pair so much today. And when the pair came, I fucking loved the little sound effect they used to sell it. Right, the pair lands on his forks and they have this sound effect that goes, psst. And I'm like,
how else would you know? All right.
Yeah, I know.
How else would you know that it landed on his fork?
But yeah, it's look, I'm not immune to it. There's two very attractive people having a little laugh and a kiss on screen. I buy it. It's fine. I think that also people complain about the chemistry. I don't even think they have bad chemistry. I just think it's awkward.
No, I think they have good chemistry. Yeah, and you can see it in the scenes where they are quite lighthearted and having fun with each other as well. Like when they're joking around, you're like, oh, this is good. This is actually palpable. It's just again dialogue, little dialogue and direction take a hit in this movie. They're a little stilted at times, really.
The only way I can reconcile it in my head is like when we do this podcast. Right, we sound normal because this is how we talk to each other. But like, if we had, I think we've done it before. Like maybe as a joke, we've had like if AI wrote an intro and we had to read it out, that it would sound wrong, even though we are mates and have been mates for a very long time. It would sound weird regardless, and it would sound like we're not mates.
Should I get an AI to write an intro?
Okay, go on.
Sure. Here's an intro you could use for another happy pod. Upbeat music fades in. Welcome to Another Happy Pod, the podcast that brings you a dose of positivity, inspiration, and good vibes to brighten your day. Whether you're tuning in for your morning commute, taking a break, or winding down, we're here to help you find joy in the everyday. I'm your host, Your Name, and in today's episode, we're diving into brief teaser of topic or guest. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Here's to another happy moment. Oh, the name just changed entirely.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
So what's happened here is I don't think ChatGPT knows who we are. Okay.
I'm sure we've done this. Let me find it.
I'm sure Still Got Legs. I'm sure my nose Still Got Legs. Do you know the podcast Still Got Legs? Question mark. Yes, Still Got Legs is a podcast that explores the life stories of people who have experienced significant challenges or setbacks, but found ways to persevere. If you're referring to the different podcast or name, need a specific detail about it, let me know.
Nathan Bauer, enthusiastically. Hello and welcome to Another Happy Pod, the podcast that's all about having conversations that are, well, happier. I'm Nathan Bauer, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only, the charming, and sometimes overly opinionated Lawrence Heisey. How are you, mate?
Mate? This doesn't know shit. Right?
No, but I think, because, you got beef about my opinions on movies and saying overly opinionated. I feel like that's something.
No,
at least.
It's nothing. No, it's nothing.
I say overly opinionated. I'd argue I'm just the right amount of opinionated, thank you very much. But I'm good, Nathan. Excited for today's episode because we're diving into something we both know and love. It takes a while for us to get to what we're talking about, by the way. Like, the script was obviously still trying to figure out what the episode was on.
Does it mention at any point anything to do with movies or pop culture or anything?
No, not that I'm seeing.
That's why you've gone wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think it knows shit.
It doesn't. Fucking stupid AI.
Fucking AI, man.
Right, but that's what it reads like. It reads like the scene reads like two people that do have chemistry but are having to read a script that feels like a machine wrote it. And that sounds like a burn on George Lucas. He has many other skills and talents. They're just not in writing, I don't think.
No, they are in writing. They're just not in writing dialogue.
Not in writing dialogue. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that scene on Geonosis before they go out and stuff.
I do too. Yeah.
I think it's a really sweet scene. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. It might be a little quick or whatever, but I don't know. I buy it, man. I really like it.
I like it when the movie it just goes kind of like fuck it, full on fantasy, like you said. Like we're just going into it. They love each other big time.
And why not? All right. I think it's beautiful. I love love.
I love love.
I
quite like that this as a whole movie feels very alien. Like it feels more alien than others.
Isn't it?
No, but it feels more natural, I think. Like remember New Hope?
Lucky, Senator. Decent Jedi arriving.
So Jar Jar got fucking cold, didn't he? Big time.
We'll talk about Jar Jar.
But I think that I like the vibes of the worlds. I think Camino looks wet and interesting. And I like the weird Martian heads.
What's the Camino?
Is this a memorable part of the score that I should know?
Yeah, it's the Camino theme, you know?
I can't say I remember it.
Nice. When Obi-Wan's arriving, he's like, I'll just stumble into this facility. And they're like, Master Jedi, welcome. You're here to see all the men that we have.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm here to see all the men.
100%, you're right. Yeah.
Show me all the men.
And then they're like, They're like,
Come see all the men.
would you like some specifics? And he's like, well, let's get one thing straight. Firstly, I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi. And here I am.
Yes.
I have to say my name. There's no reason for me to withhold it here, apparently.
No, it's vital information.
But no, I like the vibes of the worlds. I like Geonosis. I like the weird little termite community that's going on there. Like, it's
They're not termites, Lawrence.
what are they? They're like weird little things,
They're a hive mind. They're little, like, bugs.
little creepy bugs.
They're not termites. What do you think a termite is?
Termite's a little bug, isn't it?
Yeah, but it eats wood.
These guys might eat wood.
They don't eat wood.
Well, they might.
What I like is I like the not the idea, because it is a thing, but like the sort of like visual storytelling that comes across, and like obviously we had the introduction to the B1 battle droids last in the previous movie, but here we see the kind of look and inspiration of the B1 battle droids, because they're made on Geonosis and they're made by the Geonosians, so they're made to look kind of like the Geonosians with their like long faces and that kind of stuff. And then once you see them side by side, you're like, oh, you can see how they got to that sort of design and stuff. So that's interesting.
It makes sense why these guys would make this thing. Like, yeah, it does take. I know you're absolutely right. I do think that like the world building in lore is something that George Lucas never like gets wrong, because he just puts so much fucking time into it all. But I like the, you know, the clone race. You know, it's a very clinical facility, so it's all white and it's all shiny and it's all like, it feels like a hospital, and I think that vibe suits it. You don't think so?
Yeah, I'm probably just too used to Clone Wars, really. So.
Oh, what? Does it show up differently there?
No, it doesn't. It's just I wouldn't use the term hospital to describe it personally.
Okay, but it has that like sterile feel to it, though, no?
It does, yeah, it does, yeah. Clinical is definitely the right term, yeah.
Yeah. And I think like Dexter Jetster and stuff, you've got his fun little diner. Like, it just feels very fleshed out of a world.
The MVP of the movie, Dexter Jetster.
He's not my favorite.
What do you know?
Weirdo.
He's mine. I love him.
I like Simon Pegg Portions.
Those cloners on Camino.
Is it Plutt? Is Simon Pegg Plutt?
Unkar Plutt.
That's it, yeah.
What are you doing here? We're not talking about him.
No, he's one of my favorite little weird guys.
We'll get to him, all right?
What, next year?
This is Dexter Jetster's moment to shine.
All right, sorry.
You're trying to take away with your fucking Unkar Plutt talk.
Do you like his tash?
I love his tash. It's brilliant.
He's looking fresh.
I love it. I love the design. I love that Obi-Wan's just got a friend who runs a fucking diner, like a 50s diner in the middle of Coruscant. It's so bizarre.
I don't know why. Like,
and Obi-Wan's drinking during the day as well. They're like, do you want a Jawa juice? And he's like, fuck yeah, I'll have a Jawa juice.
Why not? Let's go.
Let's have a Jawa juice.
It is weird that Obi-Wan's just like got a mate, because none of these guys have mates.
Well, Obi-Wan does.
Obi-Wan's got one mate.
What do you know?
I like the server droid that has a little wheel for a leg, and it's just whizzing about. That's always a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think this is good. I think this is the world building in this one in particular. Like, it's just very impressive. Like, Coruscant looks amazing.
Coruscant looks amazing. Coruscant does look incredible. That whole chase sequence is so good. I don't care what anyone says, man. It's great. And also, like, the sound design, like the guitar riffs for the engine of that speeder, when it's like, you know, like weaving in and out. It sounds great, man.
I mean, this whole movie sounds great. There's the infamous fucking what's it called? The EMP thing. What's the name of it?
Oh, the seismic charges.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Seismic charge.
Oh, what a lovely sound. Yeah.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Very good
I'll play it there. There it is.
I think they know what it is.
No, but it's there. It's there. You know what? I'll play it again. Here it is again.
I think they know. All right.
I'll keep doing it. Here it is a third time.
Don't do that. Anakin should have 100% been the one to jump out the window onto the droid, shouldn't they?
Yes.
Like when you think about it, that is so. Like, they really switched that around, didn't they? They had Obi-Wan, rational, thoughtful, logical Obi-Wan, jump out of the window, grab onto the droid while Anakin runs down to a speeder.
Yeah,
you know?
and like I know, I guess in their mind they're like, Anakin's the better flyer, he'll catch up quicker, but like,
yeah,
Anakin shouldn't have even thought about that. He should have already been out that window.
100%. He should have dived onto the bed, almost chopped Padme's head off with his lightsaber, all right, and then just immediately fucking dived out that window.
I'd say it's a good thing she didn't move a fucking inch, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
she'd be headless.
She would be headless. Yeah.
We got to talk about this a little bit. The everyone always makes fun of this. The outsourcing of the outsourcing of the outsourcing of the outsourcing of the assassination attempt.
Yeah, it's a lot of steps, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't care. It's fun. I like the worm.
I don't like the worm. It's
You don't like the
creepy.
worm?
It's too creepy, man. I don't like it.
Worms are creepy though. That's what it's
I know,
a killer
but-
worm.
I know, but I don't like it.
It's not gonna be like, hey guys, look at my cool vibe.
I want a nice worm. I want a nice worm to kill me.
Do you reckon there's other worms that are nice worms and like that fucking one assassin worm always gives us a bad reputation?
I'd like to think so. Yeah.
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 And they're not just worm racist. All the worms are criminals.
Look, I don't like this worm. All right.
But I don't care about all like the. It's overly convoluted. Yeah, it's fucking Star Wars. Like
Yeah.
Star Wars can be often overly convoluted, and it's just fine. Who cares?
I mean, even so, it is a bit convoluted. So like, there is a lot of steps. I think Palpatine. Also, just the initial assassination attempt, I don't really understand because presumably the actual ship is rigged to explode. All right. So why wait until they get onto the landing platform just to then blow it up? But
Yeah,
all right.
true. They didn't land on the bomb, did they?
Yeah. I don't know.
Mate,
Strange.
the least desired job in the world is being Padme's body double.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
She's
true.
going through him.
That's true. Yeah.
Did Sabe die? She must have died last week.
Sabe's not dead. No, she's
Sabe-
not in this movie, but she's not dead.
It's Corda or someone?
Corday.
Corday, that's it.
Yeah,
Rose Byrne.
Yeah. I don't know who that is. I only know Keira Knightley.
You know Rose Byrne.
Who's Rose Byrne?
You know Rose Byrne. She's in First Class.
Oh, Moira.
Yeah, you brought her up as Rose Byrne. I know you know who Rose Byrne
I didn't even
is.
brought her up as Rose Byrne. And if I did, it was because I was reading her name on IMDb. All right?
all right, fine. What I'll say, if you don't mind, I've got a list of cool things.
Anyway, sorry, Sabe is not dead because she teams up with Vader in the comics.
Why?
Yeah, interesting stuff. All the handmaidens team up with Vader for a whole storyline.
Do they go and save? Oh no, Padme's dead. So what are they doing with Vader?
They kind of help out with some investigation thing. It's a whole thing. All right.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
They're like the handmaidens of Padme, like very like they actually know how to do shit. They're actually quite badass and like skilled and can fight and shit.
So is it like a roster, like a weekly roster of like you're going to pretend to be Padme this week, and if you die, like sorry, that's just what it is.
I don't think so. No.
Rose
Just
Byrne
something
does
that-
look a lot like Padme, to be fair.
Does she?
Not as much as Keira Knightley did.
Maybe.
It's not bad likeness, I don't think.
All right.
I think that whilst I enjoy the Battle of Geonosis with the like 100 Jedi,
220 something.
yeah, I think that there is an element of it that like it's just not well choreographed. They're all just swinging because there's that many of them on screen.
Yeah, there. It does feel like just right. Just stand in front of this green screen and just blindly swing and occasionally throw out your hand occasionally, and then we'll make it work.
Yeah.
All right.
And sometimes we
that-
won't
that's-
animate people to like react to that. Sometimes, like if
Yeah.
you're in the background enough, you're just going to be doing some twirls.
Yeah, it is what it is. But it's also fun. Like I remember going to see this in the cinema when it came out.
Yeah.
And then being like, as a young kid, being fucking blown away when all those lightsabers started showing up in the fucking arena and stuff. Like it was very cool at the time.
Yeah, I look, when you go from like seeing that many Jedi on screen, like that must be a cool thing. Of like, oh, there's fucking loads of them and they're all fighting and shit. Like this is what you want. You want to see the Jedi at war. It's cool.
And we talked last week about like how funny it was for George to be like, you know, take all these myths and legends of the Jedi and just be like, no, they're just four boring dudes in a room, all right?
Yes.
Whereas here, like, he actually is putting that stuff in. He is actually showing you that stuff, which is, it's something. You know?
It's certainly something. I feel like I reconcile it in my head with the fact that, like, yeah, I get it. They're supposed to be woefully underprepared for this shit, right? Like, the Jedi are supposed to be running into this being like, oh God, we're fucked here. I was not trained for this. Like, I know how to swing a lightsaber, but I was not ever meant to be a soldier. And I like that element of it. But I think, like, Phantom Menace does that really, like, so much better. Like, you've got Obi-Wan's recklessness in Duel of the Fates, and he's, like, way more on the offensive. But, like, Obi-Wan's way more on the offensive, way more than we ever really get to see him be. And I think they communicate that better here, this idea of Obi-Wan is not ready for this fight, but they still do a good job of showing that he's capable and he was competent to fight, which is what I feel like the Jedi should be. But here they just kind of come across like kind of a lot of them swinging idiots. And by how many of them die, like it doesn't make them look very well respectable. So
quite a lot of them die. I think there's only like 20 something left of them in the end.
Yeah, because they get circled, right? Like they get closed in on, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just think like from fight choreography, we've gone so even the closer up stuff.
But I think there's a big difference between choreographing a 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 lightsaber duel, to choreographing a big battle sequence where you're in the background and maybe you'll occasionally get a close up for 2 seconds. You know, I think there is a big difference between those two things.
There is, but if the people at the front still look shit, then you've done something wrong. You've made a misstep somewhere. The people at the front should look excellent, and the people in the back can be doing whatever. I would say. But I also think, like, to I guess to give it a fairer comparison, I think the Count Dooku fight is kind of crap as well. Like, it's there's fun elements of it to watch, but it's no way near the same level as Duel of the Fates. And it should be. Count Dooku has more of a personal history with with Obi-Wan, at least. Like, it should have more dramatic weight to it. Darth Maul was a complete stranger, but it felt so much more personal.
They've never met.
Well, no, they did met. They met earlier, didn't they? They had their little talk.
Yeah, that's when they met. We see them meet in this movie, so you can't really say they have personal history.
Well, no, but, like, at least a connection. Like, he used to be a Jedi. That should rain something on Obi-Wan. Like, he used to be associated with Qui-Gon Jinn. That should
Qui-Gon's master.
Yes, and fucking Qui-Gon essentially raised Obi-Wan. Like, so there should be that level of, there should be a personal attachment there. And Darth Maul being a stranger and feeling more personal just feels a bit, I don't know, it's just, obviously it's not as good as Duel of the Fates, but I don't necessarily even think it comes close, especially with the Yoda stuff, which I'll get your opinion on as well.
It doesn't come close to Duel of the Fates, no, but I don't know. I 100% see what you're saying, but I guess in my head, I've just never seen it as trying to. So I don't know. Like, I don't know.
They're trying to do different things, obviously.
Yeah.
But what do you make of all the Yoda stuff then? Like, because obviously it's naff.
Yeah. I remember seeing this in the cinema. I was there with my sister and my dad. Okay.
Yeah.
We went to see this. I was, how old would I have been? 10, maybe 9, 10, I think. When did this come out? Was it 2002 this came out?
2002, I think, yeah.
So I would have been 8, I think.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, I would have been 5, so yeah.
Yeah, I'd have been 8. So yeah, I went to this, and I remember seeing it in the cinema with my dad and my sister, and I remember during the Yoda fight sequence, all 3 of us just laughing so much, just completely just taken by shock and just laughing at how hilarious it was that Yoda was jumping around doing all these flips and stuff while fighting 85-year-old Christopher Lee.
Yeah. That's what's funny about it. It's just 2 decrepit old geezers having a punch up.
But then the fucking, I don't know, Yoda's got to be like fucking claiming Pip or some shit. Like, Yoda's got to be claiming some disability benefits or some shit, because he's walking around with that cane. Like, well, you clearly don't fucking need him. Yeah.
It makes me laugh so much when when Count Dooku skulks off, right, and he picks his cane back up, and then he kind of gets himself into the hunch position,
and then he like shuffles forward, and he's taking a step like every 4 minutes, like. Who are you fooling, man?
Yeah.
We just saw you flipping all around this place, all right?
Everyone in the room watched that. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
I'm gonna investigate that, man. That used to be my job. I used to investigate that type of shit, man.
People like claiming false disability benefits?
Yeah. And I'm
You don't need him.
I'm gonna call up Yoda and investigate his circumstances. All right.
Hello, Yoda, mate. I see here that you cycle to work. Yeah, it's fucking. I also think it goes against what Empire does really well with Yoda, where it teaches Luke it's not about physicality and strength. It's about mental discipline and like. For Yoda to hold a lightsaber, I'm not one of these people that's like, for Yoda to hold a lightsaber, it's inherently wrong.
I'm fine. He can hold the lightsaber. I don't care.
He is a Jedi.
That.
He would be the only one that didn't have one, so I get it.
Yeah, I think it's fine for him to have a lightsaber. I just think the flips and stuff, it's all a bit excessive. Really,
it is. Yeah. I think if you want to show Yoda and keep him consistent with the Empire Yoda. Just have him walk in and just fucking shut down Dooku's mind or something. Just literally walk in and have Dooku be like, "Hello, Yoda," and Yoda just goes, "I ain't got time for this," and just fucking knock him out or something. Like,
but where's the fun in that? You know,
I understand it, and I get it's for children, so they want to see some stupid CGI green flips. And I will say next week I'll come across as an enormous hypocrite because I think he's really fucking cool when he beats up Darth Sidious.
Same. I really like that fight quite a lot, actually.
So I guess whatever. I can't have my cake and eat it, I suppose.
We haven't even talked about Jango and Boba Fett.
Oh, we haven't.
Yeah.
Cool boys.
Two boys.
One
of them's a clone, one of them's not. The balls on this movie to be like, yeah, Boba's just a little clone, actually. Boba Fett, you know that guy you will love for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
I've never understood it myself, but whatever. You know that guy you will love who's mostly an idiot? All
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, he's a clone, actually.
I think it's just because the love for Boba Fett is entirely because he's just a cool fucking guy with a cool vibe.
He's a cool looking guy, but like he mostly does nothing. He
just gets beaten up.
In the original trilogy, like everything that's cool about him is literally the look. Okay.
Yeah.
And then everything that has been in like books and comics after the movies.
Yeah.
Like, because from what's in the movie, he's just like, put Captain Solo in the... Well, not that. At the time, it was, put Captain Solo in the cargo hold.
and that's, he's no good to me, did.
No, that's how it is now.
Yeah.
He's no good to me, dead. And then fucking a Wilhelm scream, and then he fucking falls on his face and dies.
Yeah.
Well, no, he doesn't die, but...
And he gets burped as well.
Like pit, and he gets burped.
Yeah. If it wasn't bad enough him dying like that, he gets burped out.
I think the burp might have been a special edition thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that feels very special edition now you say it, doesn't it? Yeah. Look, I think it's cool for this movie to just go like, yeah, he's a little boy and he's a little creepo boy as well. Like, he loves watching.
Get him dead.
Yeah, get him dead.
Dead.
I think Jango Fett's cool as well. Jango Fett's basically just a better Boba Fett.
Is he a better Boba Fett?
He's a cooler Boba Fett.
Is he cool? I don't think he's a cooler Boba Fett.
You don't think he's cooler? I like it. I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.
I mean, Boba Fett literally says the same thing. I know it's a callback, but...
Oh, yeah. We heard it here and went, oh, and that's sick, that. I'll jot that one down.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way across the galaxy.
Like, I think
Jango make your way as far as Coruscant. Maybe.
Why can no one lie? Why can no one talk normally? Like, just go, no.
Vibes, learn. Right?
I get it, but like, have you ever been to Coruscant? That place where you tried to have a senator murdered? Just go, Coruscant? Don't even know what that is, mate. I've just been
That's
here.
essentially what he's saying, though, isn't it?
No, he's like, maybe.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
Cool.
Do you not think he's as cool then?
No, not really. I like that fight in the rain. That's pretty cool.
It's a great fight. Obi-Wan's got his good karate kick in the rain.
He does have his karate kick, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just like fucking fall off that thing. It's all good stuff, man.
It is good stuff. I always like it when fights break away to just have a brief fist fight exchange.
The fist fight is good, yeah.
Yeah. It's what I wish the Jedi would do more. But the fact that Obi-Wan's on the floor and like Jango gets up and Obi-Wan just boots him in the face, like, it's really funny.
Obi-Wan's doing a lot of quips in this movie, as well.
Yeah,
it's like there's that moment where like he gets caught by Jango Fett's like fucking wife, and he's like, "Oh, not good," before he gets like taken for a little ride, and then in the Geonosis arena, like Anakin's like, "What about Padme?" She's like, "She seems to be on top of things."
It's good. I think it is more in line with Alec Guinness though. Like,
and the we came here to rescue you, Master.
Good job.
It's great.
That's
like
become part of my like daily lexicon. Like that, I just say that now. Like anything that I feel slightly sarcastic that wasn't handled well, I just go, "Good job."
Good job.
I suppose we didn't talk. Do we want? Is there anything to say on his big Jedi mullet?
Big mullet. It's good.
I think it looks cool. Yeah, I love that. This one hair choice has made so many Jesus memes for Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Which is always fun.
Hey, it works, man. Looks good.
It does work. The Padawan look is still fucking disgraceful. Like,
I don't think it's that bad.
I hate it. I hate the rat tail thing. I just think it
Well,
looks
that's
horrendous.
all Padawans, all right?
I know, but I think it looks awful.
Well, that's your beef is with the Jedi.
I guess so, yeah. And they're barber. Because I won't cut that bit, actually. I just won't.
It's the symbol of a Padawan, all right? Lawrence?
Oh, do you like
get it cut off when you're no longer a Padawan?
Or technically, I suppose you just wait for the rest of your hair to grow out.
No, you get it cut off with a lightsaber.
Do the alien ones with no hair, do they have like a stick-on one?
So Ahsoka, she has like a little sort of like a jewelry, it's like a necklace sort of, not a necklace because it's not around a neck, but like a little pendant sort of thing instead.
Yeah, like a fancy earring or whatever.
No, it's not like an earring because it doesn't come down off her ear. So
Does
it's
Ahsoka
like
have
little
ears?
Now that you're asking me, I literally cannot picture Ahsoka. You know? I think she does.
Let me
Maybe.
find. Ahsoka. I don't know. Her big things are in the way. No, not the cartoon one. Certainly doesn't look like it.
No, yeah, maybe not.
But I feel like Rosario Dawson maybe does. Oh no, she doesn't either.
Yeah,
How's she hearing?
her Leku have audio receptor.
And for not nerds, that's her big head thing. Leku.
I feel like everyone knows that.
I feel like you'd be amazed at how many people wouldn't know that.
I feel like anyone who's listening to this would know that.
I still think it goes 50-50, to be honest. I didn't know that until you told me that maybe like a year or so ago.
Yeah, but you are tremendously stupid.
Yeah, but I make these podcast episodes with you, so people listening wouldn't have more knowledge than me on it.
Yeah, they would. About Star Wars, they would, because you know fuck all about Star Wars.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I know some.
You know some, but you're always asking. Whenever you have a Star Wars video, you always ask me for help.
Of course I do. You're the encyclopedic Star Wars knowledge in my life. Of course I'm going to use that.
I'm not that encyclopedic.
I
know more than most.
Yes.
I certainly know more than you.
Do you know who knows more than you?
Quite a lot of people, I would say.
I feel like you know most things.
I know a lot. I don't know everything.
Because you've read all the books. Well, not all the books.
I've not read all the books.
That would be
I've read
insane.
a good amount of no. I've read a good amount of the books. I've not read all the books.
Yeah. Well, there's more books than I've read about Star Wars.
I've read more books than you've read.
On account of probably all those Star Wars books. Yeah, probably, yeah.
Lawrence, come on. You've read like one book.
I've read some books.
You've read like one book and you couldn't get through all of it. All right.
I prefer visual stimulus, Nathan.
Stop buying books then.
Yeah, that's me on Attack of the Clones, I guess. I like the big creatures, the gladiator creature things. Sound like a cat.
Yeah, it was my noise of a creature thing.
Um,
Have I got anything else? I like
big butts, and you cannot lie. Is it time to ask you a certain question?
Do I have anything else?
No, but what you do is you always do this because you don't write notes. You then just think, and then you keep bringing up stuff at the end.
Palpatine's having a good little skulk around.
Yeah, that's last week though, and he's not really doing much in this one.
He's in this movie.
He's in the movie, but all the cool stuff he was doing was last week, I reckon.
I think it's worth noting that there's no in this movie and the next movie, all the clones are digital. There's no actual armor made for them at all. It's all digital. They're all digital boys.
I think next week it looks better. You can definitely tell. This week,
you can tell.
Yeah. That's like a couple of those scenes towards the end where they're like showing them marching and stuff. I'm like, I respect the confidence, but you had to know that wasn't going to look the best. Oh, R4. I like R4. Red R2.
R4. Well, we've seen Astromechs before.
Yeah, but
other Astromechs do exist.
No, but he's Obi-Wan's one, isn't he?
He doesn't have R2's personality.
No, but I like that he's got one.
Yeah.
To help him fly his ship. Right, can I ask you this goddamn question?
Oh, for fuck's sake, yes, sure.
Thank you. I'm playing the theme again. Another happy question. Right. It's the return. Earlier on, Nathan, I asked you which of the political players in this would you like to vote in as your own prime minister? Who is securing
we
your
didn't talk about
vote?
Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, he's not in it.
Well, he got snaked at one point when Palpatine and Masamida were like, if only Senator Amidala were here, she would push this through because she's great and everyone loves her. You know?
Yeah, I do. They dicked him big time.
He did.
Fucking poor Jar Jar.
Poor Jar Jar fucked up the entire galaxy forever.
I respect that George Lucas went, you hate him, did you? Well, he's the reason. He's the fucking reason.
Anyway, whatever, go on.
All right, I'm playing it again.
Ask me your silly little question.
All right, I will.
You...
Another happy question. Had to do it again.
Why we should? I think we should. You should change that so whenever you press it, it's me saying another happy question, and then whenever I press it, it's you saying another happy question.
I like that. I would have to find where the original dum 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 thing came from.
You can do that.
Sure. I've no idea what it would be called, but
I'm sure there'll be an AI program which you can use to just extract it.
There's a lot of political figures in this particular Star Wars installment, Nathan. The obvious ones.
Name them.
Professor Palpatine, Senator Padme
Professor?
Amidala. Yeah, he's got a degree. Senator Padme Amidala, Jar Jar Binks even, right? Arguably the most important political player in this. Plenty more old dudes.
Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, that's him. They're all in competition to become the Prime Minister. Who is securing your vote and why?
Padme.
Why?
She's obviously the best option.
All right, but like that whole murder thing that we spoke about.
What whole murder thing?
The whole she turned. How would you feel if fucking Keir Starmer was revealed to have known about several murders that his wife committed and just did not say much about it?
Won't really give
You have to
much
remember
of a
this is
shit, to be
Padme
honest.
in our world.
Yeah, be honest. Like presidents and prime ministers have done much worse shit than that, and probably Keir Starmer probably does know people who have done murders.
Don't know
and not
about
said
murders.
shit. Probably. You don't know what these cunts are getting up to.
I mean, I don't think they're all getting away with murders though. Actual murders.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Padme is obviously the right choice, I guess, but
Yeah,
she's not perfect. She's far from perfect, I think.
I think she's if the options are Jar Jar Binks, Palpatine, and Padme, okay.
No, you can pick one of the other
Then-
old guys if you want.
If you think any of that, if you think I'm gonna pick Palpatine or Jar Jar Binks over Padme, all right, then you're a fucking idiot.
What about Bail Organa?
He wasn't in the contention.
Well, he was. I said any political players in this, and he's in this movie.
Well, you didn't mention him.
No, because I was just naming some examples. I did tell you
Well-
earlier you can have any other old cunt as well.
I stand by my choice. I stand by Padme.
All right,
Okay.
fair enough. I'd go for Bail Organa because he sounds like Padme, but didn't know about any murders and cover any murders up.
You're a sexist. That's why there will never be a woman president, everyone, because of men like lions.
Because I
stuck
don't
in
like
his
it when
ways.
people
Yeah.
murder people.
That's why he didn't vote for Kamala.
I could.
Alright? Did you vote for Kamala, Lawrence?
Did you?
Did you vote for... I'm not on trial here. Did you vote for Kamala Harris?
I'm not even going to explain
Did
that.
you answer yes or no? Did you vote for Kamala Harris?
No.
Well, there you go. Doesn't that speak volumes?
Fuck's sake.
Anyway.
Right. Nathan, it's time for the audience to have their say. Do your whoa. You always go, whoa.
No, I don't.
You do every single time you go, whoa. Or you go, what? And I go, I know.
What?
Thank you. I know. If you join the Discord, the link for which is in the show notes, you can write in and have your say about whatever we're talking about. This week, we got a few people writing in, starting off with Ari, who says, I will not be watching this. What would you
Same.
do if you had a clone?
What would I do if I had a clone?
Yeah, there's a few more questions to it, but we'll start off there.
Well, the obvious one, first of all.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not gonna say it, but we're all thinking.
Everyone
it.
gets
Just-
it. Yeah.
Everyone gets it. All right, you got to do that first of all, and then just probably like, I just like make it go to work for me and shit. Do I have total power over the clone, or is it like self-aware and like will fight me?
I
he
guess
doesn't
I
wanna
guess
do
clone
shit?
rules in this world, like clone army, like all the clones have personalities and stuff.
Yeah, but they'll go to war for people, won't they? They're bred to go to war.
Yeah, but I think
So
the vibe would be
so is
different
this
if it's
clone-
only one of you, though.
Yeah, but no, because it's what they're engineered for.
Oh, it's their like purpose.
So
Yeah,
yeah. So is like this clone engineered to like do as I say?
I guess so. Yeah,
All right. Well, then I make it go to work for me and shit.
I feel like ethically this might be wrong. I'm gonna hit you with
Well,
these.
that's a whole issue, all right? Like, sorry, Mister, I refuse to watch Clone Wars because it's a cartoon, all right? But
I've watched all of Rebels.
maybe that's something that's explored.
I'm gonna quick fire you these from Ari because there's several questions. What if your clone was evil?
I'd kill it.
I guess that answers the next one. Would you be able to kill your evil clone?
Yes.
Or would you get too weirded out, Nathan?
No, I'd kill it.
I'd just break his neck. It's
Just
fine.
kill it. I'll just shoot it in the head and then get a new one. I assume I have some sort of cloning machine.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Yeah, is it just faulty ones like Blade Runner 2049
Like in-
style? Just
That Wizard movie.
the Wizard movie?
Christopher Nolan's Wizard movie.
Oh,
With
Prestige.
with Hugh Jackman.
That's it.
He's a wizard. Yeah. He's cloning wizards or whatever.
He's cloning Wizard.
Spoiler alert for that movie, I guess.
Ari says, I think about this a lot. Would love to hear your thoughts. There you go. There's our thoughts.
What would you didn't answer.
If I had a clone,
All right, so what would you do with a clone first of all? Well, obviously, first one, we'll get that out of the way.
but that's
Then-
the first thing's always what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
You
And
just
then-
gotta know, ain't you?
You just gotta know. You just gotta have a go. Really.
Have a go. If my clone was evil, yeah. Oh no, what would I have my clone do? Help me with chores.
Oh, you're so boring, man.
Help me with chores. Run to the car.
Why help you?
Walk my
Why
dog
not
for
just
me?
do them?
Well, I
You don't like
do them
walking
now.
your dog
No, I do like walking my dog, but not every day. Sometimes I'm tired.
once a day, man. You can walk your dog.
I do walk my dog once a day, but sometimes I'm like, oh, this is irritating. I'd rather be at home on the sofa.
Isn't that the best part of Rosie's day?
Yeah.
When she gets to go for a little walk?
Look, I'm putting on the voice for her. I'm like, you having fun? Oh, you like that
Outrageous.
sniff, do you?
How do you think she'd feel if she knew that you hated going for these walks
Well,
every day?
I don't hate them every day.
That every day you're like, oh, I can't believe I have to walk this fucking dog.
Why'd I get this dog?
Why'd I get this fucking hound?
You know very much that is not my opinion. I love my dog.
That is your opinion.
Yeah, I'd kill my evil self if they were evil. That's fine. I wouldn't have a problem with that. I'd of mice and men it. Take them out to the back of the barn, bullet in the back of the head. Bob, job's a good one.
I'd look him in the eyes.
And strangle them as well.
I want to see the light leave his eyes. This is like kill him.
Ah, me. Garen says, genuinely atrocious. I thought this was bad, but on my most recent rewatch, I was genuinely stunned by how much worse it was than I'd remembered. And yet, I cannot say it wasn't worth it, because it gave us the incredible sound effect of that bomb going off in the asteroid belt. I'm very curious. I think a lot of people feel that way, to be fair, about that sound effect. I'm very curious to hear your discussion about Lucas's decision to shoot this digitally. Personally, I think while great things have been done with digital cameras since, and this movie certainly moved cinema into the future, this movie is fucking ugly. From Garen.
Did you say we watch?
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I think you did. That's all I was able to focus on throughout that entire thing. But I hope you enjoyed that conversation, Gary, because we kind of talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry if we disagree, but there you go.
I think we're largely in the same boat. There's some ugly shots in this, and there's some nicer ones as well.
There is some ugly shots, but I think some of it looks good.
Yeah, I wouldn't call this movie genuinely atrocious, though.
I'd call you genuinely atrocious.
Oh no. Christina says, not sure if anyone else here listens to Kill James Bond. Do you?
No.
I've never heard of that.
I've heard of it, but I've never listened to it.
But they recently did an episode on this movie and brought up some fun/interesting points. My favourite being how Count Dooku's separatist plan could essentially be summarised as space Brexit. Though calling Christopher Lee Space Farage felt a little mean in my opinion. Also, why does Jango Fett bring his son to a battle zone? Is he pulling an Elon Musk and using his own child as a human shield?
Yeah, maybe. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Also, it's not his child because he's a weird clone boy or whatever. But
No, but it's his son, isn't it? Like, Boba Fett's his son.
Yeah. Did you know that there was actually the Kaminoans made 2 unaltered clones?
Of Boba Fett?
No, of Jango Fett.
Oh, of Jango. But, like, there's 2...
Yes.
So there's another naturally aging Boba Fett out there.
Yes.
What's he up to?
Not a he.
Interesting.
Mm.
Lady Fett.
No. Her name is Omega.
And what does she do?
Clone girl.
Clone girl.
Just clone girl.
Nothing more interesting. She
Not
just
seen her
arrives on planets and goes, I'm clone girl.
She was, for a while, involved in the Empire's Project Necromancer.
Oh, that's the Palpatine back from the dead thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's in Mando 3. They go on about that a fair bit.
They mention it in Mando 3, but it's like all throughout. Like,
is there anything in
It's-
Battlefront
in-
2 about that?
no, that you're thinking of. You're thinking of the Project Cinder.
I am.
The Palpatine thing.
He's got a little hologram, and he's like, "We're going to keep doing the Empire, basically."
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I'll close off with Carney feeling fresh AF. They say this movie introduced me to one of my favorite creature designs in the Acklay.
Oh, the Acklay. Love an Acklay.
They've attached a picture. It's the big kind of.
I don't need
crab.
to. I know what it is.
No,
Lawrence.
but for people listening, it's the big crab that Obi-Wan has to fight.
Everyone knows what an Acklay is. All right.
What's your favorite creature design in Star Wars? If you don't have one, just one in general, I guess.
My favorite creature design in Star Wars. Probably. I don't know.
What are you eating? Where did that even come from? Is that Dairy Lee cheese? Bro, just right. I'll have cut that down. But we're now dying of laughter because Nathan went, I don't know. And then there was a long pause. And then he just casually put an entire Dairy Lee cheese in his mouth.
No, a cheese triangle.
Oh,
no,
yes,
cheese
sorry.
triangle. Not just like a block of Dairy Lee cheese.
And it was very funny. I had no idea he was eating them. You must have a favourite creature design, or at least just give me one you like.
Now I've forgotten all creatures.
Do you like the
know?
one Obi-Wan rides next week that goes, whoop, whoop?
Oh, I do like that.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Whoop, 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 whoop.
I like that one quite a lot.
I do like that.
I like that he jumps it off a cliff as well, or something.
I like the Zillow Beast. You wouldn't know what that is. But I
Gotta
like
give
the
me some
Zillow
context
Beast.
there, brother.
It's from a thing you haven't seen. All right. But I like the Zillow Beast. I like a Rancor. Love a Rancor.
Yeah, Rancors are great. Yeah.
Rancor's very cool. Yeah.
On that, I like Jabba the Hutt. I just think like as a sluggish gangster, right? He's great. He's physically imposing. He's got a great laugh, right? I like him. He's just a big slug.
Solo.
That's what he says.
Solo.
The Cookie Monster in Empire. In Family Guy, they do a Cookie Monster thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you referring
You know, the thing that fucking knocks Luke out?
the
Yeti thing.
Yes. What is that called?
Cookie Monster.
No. In my head, I'm going to say like womp. It's not a womp. Oh.
The Wampa.
What is it? I mean, womp. I was thinking, what is it about doing podcasts which makes you forget everything you've ever fucking known?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
On that, Tauntauns are pretty cool. Big fucking weird half camels.
Big kangaroo in it.
Oh, yeah, they are kangaroos. Yeah, they're way more kangaroo than camel. And I thought they smelt bad.
On the outside.
One of them is my favourite. Anyway, there you go. That's your lot. Nathan, it's time we recommend some stuff to one another, right? What we do is we recommend something we've watched, read, listened to, or checked out in the last week so that we can share it with the good folks at home and each other. What are you recommending this week, Nathan Bauer?
I am recommending Tales of the Jedi.
Ooh, fitting.
Ooh, yes. Specifically, the 3 episodes that are dedicated to Count Dooku. Okay,
He's a young boy,
because
right?
I think, well, in some of them, because I think it is very interesting, and I think it adds a lot of really helpful stuff to his backstory. For vis-a-vis, Count Dooku is the one who erased Kamino from the Jedi archives, and he did so during the events of the Phantom Menace.
Because he was like, I'm sick of this
Yes.
little cunt.
No, it's a lot more complicated than that. He's very rich and interesting character, and I think that Tales of the Jedi really does a lot to add to his story and makes you feel a lot of interesting things about him. Also, I won't say exactly what her involvement is, but it also has a really great sequence involving favorite character Yaddle as well.
I love Yaddle,
as voiced by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Huh.
So
Well, there you go. Check it. That's the story of this movie's life, though, right? Like, it goes, here's an idea, and then an expanded media later on goes, and now we did it.
Building blocks.
Yeah. Like you were saying last week. Burp, if you will.
That's what I am recommended, and you'll notice I did mine first.
I did notice that, and I appreciated it, and I was going to mention it, and then I thought I don't want to jinx it, and then you go, well, actually, it was a lie, and now you're going.
Well, actually, that is a lie. And now you're
No,
going.
you already did it.
No, my real recommendation is still.
I'm recommending 28 Days Later, little movie. I'm sure no one's heard of it, so I'm going to shine some light on
What's
it.
it about?
Zombies, basically.
Boring.
I hadn't watched this in like way over a decade. No, it's a good movie. You like this? Have you seen this movie? You love this
Danny
movie.
Boyle movie. You like? Have you seen this movie? You like this movie? You love this movie?
You must love this movie. Everyone loves this movie.
Why must I love this movie?
It's a great movie.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
Ending's a little bit out of place in some aspects, but it's pretty good.
Cillian Murphy wakes up.
Yeah, he does, and he's like, I'm in London.
Like, I'm in London. No one else is in London.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, everyone's in London. But they're all dead.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No. But they're running towards me.
How did this happen? How can they be dead and they're moving?
But they're all dead.
Look, it's a great film. I hadn't seen it in fucking yonks, and obviously with 28 years later coming out next year, or this year, I think. It's one that I just wanted to kind of throw on and have a little look at again. Opening's incredible. Ending is definitely less incredible, but it's got Christopher Eccleston in it, and who can complain?
Do you know what else is 28 years later?
What?
You in a few weeks.
What does that mean?
You're 28 in a few weeks.
Oh, okay. But like later, it doesn't really work. But
I don't know. I was just making it work. All right.
I understand. Yeah, great. Good Danny Boyle stuff. Minimal budget, so he was like, "How do I figure this out?" Right? I read afterwards. One of these fun little story is that Danny Boyle had a daughter. Still presumably does, but
okay. The way you phrased that was very weird.
But he couldn't get planning permission to shoot on one particular scene in London.
Westminster Bridge.
No. This was like just a side road or whatever, and it was like a popular road for like shortcuts, and all of the black cabs took it in London. And because it was early hours of the morning, obviously that's like people coming home from clubs and stuff. So he essentially, he tried it with a producer, just this average bloke in his 40s. He was like, can you just ask them kindly to like redirect and just go round that way? It's slightly longer, but I'm sure they won't mind. Every cabbie went, no, we're just going to go this way, mate, and drove through. Then he went, fuck it. And his daughter was on set and he went, can you go and ask? And then every single black cabbie afterwards went, yeah, no worries, darling, that's fine. We'll go around the long way, sweetheart.
Great.
So that's a glowing testament to men in London, I suppose. But yeah, bit of fun. Anyway, watch it. It's a good movie. Good time. I haven't seen 28 years later ever. Weeks later ever, sorry.
I also haven't seen 28 years later.
It's not out.
That's why.
Thank you.
I have seen 28 weeks later.
I have never seen it. I know the music from it, and I know that Robert Carlyle gets on a boat in the first scene or something.
Robert Carlyle does some stuff in it.
Ooh. Well, I'll be keen to find out what. I hear it's not as good. Everyone says it's not as good.
I haven't seen it like in years, to be honest.
Yeah.
So in terms of the quality, I can't necessarily comment.
Bro can't speak to that.
I'll tell you what, though, speaking of movies which shut down streets in London, I really want to see that Robbie Williams movie, man.
Yeah.
I need to see that monkey movie.
Surely that should be out on streaming soon, which means we can torrent it.
Me with the Flow Show.
It does
Have
look
I
cool.
ever told my Robin Williams story on this podcast?
Robin Williams or
Robbie
Robbie Williams?
I said Robin, but I meant Robbie.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, go on. What is it?
I don't think I have. But
Did he ever ruffle your
that's for
hair
another
as a
day.
wee lad or something?
No, I've told you the story.
I've forgotten this story.
The rock DJ story. A great story for another time, to misquote Maz Kanata.
What does she typically say?
A long story for another time, I think. It's about Luke's lightsaber.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because Rey's like, what's all that? And she's like, we're getting bombed. And right now we're in the basement. So let's leave.
Yeah. Your boyfriend is coming.
Ah, Chewie.
No.
No, but her boyfriend's Chewie, though.
I was talking about Kylo Ren. Lawrence.
I know that's Rey's boyfriend, but Chewie is Maz's boyfriend.
Well, no, he's not.
But
she
she wants
just
him
likes
to
to
be.
say that. Yeah. She likes that Wookiee.
Where's my boyfriend?
I like that Wookiee.
Great. Oh, Lupita Nyong'o is so fucking good. I love her. Anyway, thank you very, very much for listening. If you've enjoyed the
Knee
show,
with the flow show, kicking with the torso, boys get high and the girls even
we'll
low.
power
So
through
wave
it.
your hand
Please
if you're
feel
not
free to
with
leave
a
us a
man.
little
Gotta
5-star
get-
review. It'd be very
Yes,
much appreciated.
I
You can
got
follow us
power.
on Twitter
We
at
got everybody.
where you can suggest
I
a
got
topic
the
for us to
gift
check
and
out.
it's
Be sure to
bigger
join
than
us
gold.
next
It's time
week
to move
because
your
we are going to be
body.
continuing Star Wars Annuary and closing it out with obviously this.
Another happy landing.
Fantastic stuff. If you do feel so inclined, we have a Ko-Fi link in the show notes. If you want to help us out with the running of both these shows, there's zero pressure to do so. Everyone is always welcome to enjoy the shows for free. And if you do want to help us out, the most useful thing you can do is share both the shows with a friend. That'd be fantastic. And speaking of both shows, Nathan, what is our other podcast?
Nice. When's it
No,
gonna
this is your bit.
stop?
You've got to do it now.
DJ. But you're keeping me up all night. I'm glad you asked, Lawrence. It's called Still Got Legs. It's on
I
Doctor
don't
Who
wanna
Rewatch
rock,
podcast, where every single week
DJ,
we watch and discuss an
'cause
episode
you're
of Doctor
making me
Who.
feel
It's a good
so
blood fun
right
time,
and
and we
nice.
have a great time
When's
doing
it
it.
gonna
This
stop,
week we are discussing
DJ?
an episode which I can't remember.
Because
So
you're
have
keeping
fun
me
and
up
tune in.
all night.
Oh.
He did it, everyone. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next Friday at 10
I
a.m.
don't wanna rock.
Goodbye.
DJ.
Bye, everyone.
But you make me feel so nice. What's your favorite Robbie Williams song? Let us know at Still Got Legs. Another happy, but well, whatever. Anyway, see you later, guys. Bye.